Welcome back to the lab. All right, lab members, today we are taking a sledgehammer to that old myth that just working harder is somehow the magical key to wealth. Instead, we're exposing the drag coefficients that are absolutely slowing down your compounding engine. You know, the traditional narrative, right? Wake up at 4 a.m., juggle 3 different side hustles, basically grind until your eyes bleed, and then maybe, just maybe, you'll be rich by the time you're way too exhausted to even enjoy it. Well, it's an exhausting culture, and frankly, it is wildly inefficient. Look, you guys have already built the engines, you've automated your flows, and you've protected your assets. But now it is time to fine-tune the machinery for maximum output.
See, the traditional linear path tells us that to get richer, you just need to grind more hours, take on more shifts, hustle until you literally drop. But in the lab, we know that's just a linear equation for absolute burnout. It is completely unsustainable. On the flip side, the scientific path to building wealth relies entirely on increasing your efficiency ratio. It's not about how much sheer, brute force effort you're putting in, it's about how optimally your system converts that baseline effort into actual capital. You want your money working overtime, not your central nervous system. Make sense?
So what is actually standing in the way of that efficiency? Well, we call it friction. Right now, I can almost guarantee your financial nervous system is full of this friction. We're talking about sneaky leaks, hidden fees, subscription creep, unoptimized contracts. Think about that premium gym membership you just keep paying for purely out of guilt, even though your only workout there in the last 6 months was lifting the complimentary towel. These things act as literal drag coefficients. They add resistance to your system, and they require more energy and obviously more of your hard-earned money just to maintain your current speed. Today, we are going to eliminate these leaks, and we're going to do it without changing a single aspect of your actual lifestyle.
The math behind this theory is simple, but it is ruthless. We measure true success using your efficiency score. You calculate this by taking your investment fuel, which is the actual cash going into your wealth-building assets, dividing it by your total income, and then multiplying that by 100. This calculates the exact percentage of your incoming cash flow that is acting as a true propellant for your compounding engine. Honestly, we do not care how big your top-line income number is if the investment fuel number at the bottom is just a tiny little trickle. Revenue is vanity, guys. Investment fuel is sanity.
Let's look at how this plays out in the real world. Imagine person A. They earn $5,000 a month, and they consistently invest $500 of it. Boom, they've got a highly respectable 10% efficiency score. But then we have person B, who makes double, $10,000 a month, but they spend every last dime of it on high overhead, marble and mortar lifestyle choices. They finance a German luxury sedan just to sit in bumper-to-bumper commute traffic, leaving absolutely $0 invested. Their score? A big, fat 0%. This proves mathematically that, especially as we look at the consumer data for 2026, a higher efficiency ratio absolutely beats a higher salary every single time.
Okay, so what exactly are we aiming for here to actually escape the rat race? 30%. That is the elite threshold for your optimized machine. If you can systematically push 30% of your income into your investment flows, you become financially unstoppable. Reaching this threshold creates a runaway compounding effect that can literally replace your entire day job income in just 10 to 15 years. And here's the beautiful secret about all of this. We get to this 30% mark by meticulously plugging the recurring leaks in your current budget. We don't do it by endlessly chasing giant windfalls or waiting around for some massive corporate promotion. No, it's all about engineering the machine you already possess.
To really understand the gravity of these recurring leaks, you have to look at the compounding math. $8,500. Let that sink in. That is the true hidden cost of a seemingly harmless $50 monthly subscription. We always fall into that psychological trap, right? Thinking, oh, it's only $50, who cares? But when you factor in the opportunity cost, specifically the conservative 7% average market return you lose by not investing that $50 over a 10-year period, it drains a massive $8,500 from your compounding engine. Suddenly, that premium meditation app you never actually open, or that streaming service you forgot about, doesn't look so cheap anymore.
All right, to fix these leaks, we are initiating Experiment 1, the retention protocol. Now here is your script for the year. Grab a pen, write this exact phrasing down. You are going to call your service providers once a year and deploy this to force their hand. Ready? I'm reviewing my 2026 budget and considering a competitor. What can you do to keep my business? It is polite, it is direct, and crucially, it triggers their internal customer retention guidelines. Customer service reps are absolutely authorized to give you massive, unadvertised discounts, but their software only unlocks those deals if you apply the specific calibrated pressure. You literally have to say the magic words. Just doing that, a standard cable and internet bill can effortlessly drop from $120 before the protocol to $70 after. This simple 15-minute phone experiment routinely yields a 20% or more cost reduction. Think about that return on time invested. That is instant capital. You haven't downgraded your internet speed, you haven't fundamentally changed your life, you haven't deprived yourself of a single thing, you've just optimized the machine and instantly created $50 of new, recurring investment fuel.
Next up, we introduce a new major variable, Experiment 2, Subscription Darwinism.
So, for your fixed utility bills, we negotiate. But for your recurring digital charges, the apps, the software, the media services, we are applying ruthless survival of the fittest. In this digital arena, only the apps that actively provide measurable value to your life get to survive and feed off your bank account. Here are the rules of the arena. Every 90 days, we run a quarterly app review. We look coldly at the data. If a service hasn't been used in the last 30 days, that is our unused window, it devolves. It has failed to adapt to your actual needs. Think of that one niche streaming service you keep paying for just because you occasionally rewatch a single sitcom from 2008. Well, on day 0, it is immediately deleted. Cut it loose. If you really end up missing it, you can always resubscribe later. But the consumer data shows that 9 times out of 10, you won't even notice it's gone.
What we are really doing here is fighting a disease called lifestyle creep. It's the silent killer that expands your spending to perfectly match your income. It is the exact reason people earning $250,000 a year still somehow live paycheck to paycheck. You get a raise, you instantly buy more subscriptions, you upgrade your life, until you are basically broke at a higher tax bracket. It's a total trap. Applying this continuous evolutionary pressure through subscription Darwinism prevents that lifestyle creep. By keeping your fixed costs artificially small, your investment gears encounter zero friction, allowing them to spin faster and faster as your income inevitably grows.
Okay, it is time to synthesize these findings. Welcome to your mandatory Week 18 lab task, the Friction Audit. Because, let's be honest, theory without execution is just trivia. Step 1. Calculate your efficiency score for last month. You need to know your baseline. Step 2. Pick just one fixed bill, call them up, and run that retention protocol script today. Step 3. Look at your digital arena and ruthlessly cancel 2 unused subscriptions. If you execute these 3 exact steps this week, you'll increase your monthly investment fuel by at least $100. That's an extra $1,200 a year. And if you compound that newly free $1,200 annually at a standard 7% return over the next 20 years, that simple 15-minute audit just created over $50,000 of pure wealth for your future self, and you didn't have to work a single extra minute to get it.
Now, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. Are you self-sabotaging your wins? You can build the absolute perfect financial machine, but if your mindset is fundamentally flawed, you will unknowingly throw a wrench right into your own gears. Make sure you hit subscribe to stay in the lab, because next week we enter the behavioral lab to dissect the scarcity mindset and stop financial self-sabotage right in its tracks. See you next week, lab members. Keep experimenting.